on to Yusuke versus Ichigo, the delinquent street brawl. So who
I
do you
guess
think
I
is taking
could
it?
explain this one as I created the post. Basically, before Yusuke and Ichigo were superheroes, them niggas was really banging in the streets. Like Ichigo probably wasn't as much of a delinquent as Yusuke because that nigga Yusuke didn't even go to school like that. But they was both in the streets boxing niggas. So the question became who would win pre-powers just meeting each other in the streets. And things I want to point out, because a lot of people ain't want to point this out. Ichigo is definitely a high school student and Yusuke is an elementary student. Clearly we saw that with Kuwabara. That didn't mean too much for that nigga Yusuke. But who
Wait,
got the better?
pause. Is that facts? Wait, how old was Yusuke when like, the show started?
Yeah, he was a middle schooler. He was a senior.
What? Damn.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
I know that, and then
Let me
delinquent
fact check
manga,
because
he's the
I'm
next
pretty
generation.
sure.
That's crazy.
Let me make sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering what y'all think. Who got the better hands?
I mean, from my memory, I would personally say Yusuke, but like with the age gap, I mean, I'm actually a little unsure of how to like think about it now a little bit. But as far as my original thinking go, I was just gonna say Yusuke because homie was like about that. How would you kind of say it? Like that kind of, basic stereotypical delinquent, always in fights, never about learning, like that kind of that kind of persona or stereotype or trope. Like that was the definition of Yusuke. Ichigo had it, but I didn't think as hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like Yusuke's biggest rival was Kuwabara with the pompadour, the basic kind of delinquent stereotype haircut. And like for that to be like his main like rival or like fighting buddy, however you want to put it, that's like, bro, like Yusuke was like about fights, like homie had delinquent fighting techniques from the jump period. You know what I mean? But Ichigo, it was always like it's like he touched on it, but I didn't really feel that he was about it, if that makes sense, like he still like did, basic kind of school stuff, even though it was only like an episode or two. Okay. But Yusuke, I don't remember him ever like even mentioning like a class that he was really about, even like once. I mean, granted, it's been a while, but so I would definitely lean towards Yusuke hardcore. And now for the fact that he's actually was only in middle school when he was about that too. I mean, if we actually like age balanced it, then like I think it's definitely in Yusuke's favor 100%.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Ichigo, I'm looking at it. Yeah, Ichigo was in high school, but he's still only 1 year older. So it wasn't like he was like a senior in high school or nothing. But yeah, technically Yusuke was in middle school. But this is what I would say. I agree with everything people say. Like Yusuke really was in these streets. Like he had grown ass niggas running from him. You know what I'm saying? He was a hood nigga. He ain't never go to school. He was beating niggas up on a daily. But just because you the tough guy, don't mean that you always go win. I just want to put this respect that Ichigo was not out here looking to throw hands. He was quiet, walking the streets. Niggas used to bully him because his hair was orange, and he still was knocking niggas out. And that's why I'm just like, bro, I could see if they just walk in the streets, I could see Yusuke like, hey, look, strawberry, and catching them motherfucking hands. Because, like, he quiet, but let's not act like he wasn't giving niggas hands. 3v1, like, beating niggas up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm going to have to give it 6 out of 10 Yusuke, but I got 4 for my boy Ichigo because he ain't sleep.
So, my issue with the whole thing, the context that I put it in was one, I don't remember this from the very beginning or not, but I'm gonna assume that this is true. I'm assuming that Ichigo actually has some super strength, based off of his lineage. So I think a lot of people, when this was posted, was like Ichigo all day because they were giving him that strength thing, which would basically allow him to beat Yusuke. But in my mind, I took that away and was just saying, like, if they were just regular delinquents, like in a delinquent manga, which school is taking the dub? And in that case, I would say Yusuke because he basically like, and I'm not a delinquent manga expert, but I am a fan of the series. So basically, the way Yusuke is propped up, if we take away like the shonen supernatural shit that got added, He's the next generation to lead a high school gang, basically. So
Big
the way they
facts.
tell delinquent stories is like the middle schooler nigga that was winning. Like once he goes to high school the next year, like he's taking over, bro. It's just a mad. He got his crew. He's starting to move on niggas, like whatever. So Yusuke had that clout early. And he had already, I think, taken out multiple schools. Like niggas from other schools came to fight his ass, and they were consistently dropped. So he already had high schooler clout as a middle schooler. So to me, as far as like what that nigga did, if we take away the strength, I don't know if Ichigo would be able to do the same thing. He basically had Yusuke level clout, but I also feel like it was because the whole supernatural super strength thing / his dad was also secretly training him in his own way while he was growing up. If y'all remember that little tidbit they added. So I say if we take away the supernatural aspect of Ichigo, I would say Yusuke is probably like a 9 out of 10 for me. I would say it's very one-sided. If we add the super strength, then it's gonna go one-sided in the other direction, meaning that obviously Ichigo would win probably 10 out of 10 because the nigga has super strength. So
I'm just gonna piggyback on that with one little thing from a nigga that is also not a master of delinquent anime, but I do peruse. There is always that one nigga at the delinquent school, the quiet nigga. How you wondering why is he there? Bro,
yeah,
that's Ichigo, bro. He that quiet nigga that's like, bro, we don't know why Kurosaki even here, and he just go wild out, almost kill a nigga on some crazy.
yeah. They do. They have that 6 Power Ranger nigga that doesn't associate himself with no gang, and he just shows up when he wants to show up. And usually the main guy in there is like his main rival or whatever, all the way up to like the niggas graduate. So I mean, I could totally see how you would say that based off it. But Ichigo also did have a crew low key, so that would be
Like,
my only counter to it. He wasn't totally solo dolo.
all right, and then the last thing, because I'm looking at the Wikia right here. This one sentence in the Wikia proves that Yusuke definitely winning. It's like Yusuke is a teenage delinquent / street fighter with little to no positive qualities to his game.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Bro,
That
that's how
nigga.
that nigga start the series off as a thug.
And that's how I fucked with Togashi. He kind of kept it within the delinquent manga like genre in a way with the way he decided to end it off, because he still ended it off like with Yusuke saying like, look nigga, there's no hope for me, that's why I kind of joined the spirit world, but Kuwabara, your ass could go ahead and get an education. Like that's some typical delinquent manga shit right there. Like the main nigga don't do shit, bro. Like they have to find a way to make it a happy ending without letting you know that this nigga is not gonna be shit with the rest of his life, bro. So they either kill that nigga off or like, find a way for him to go find some shit somewhere else. Like he moves.
A new nigga ass to whoop.
Right.
That's crazy, bro. That it's so crazy now that I'm stopping to think about it. He literally got his powers because God was like, "Whoa, you sacrifice your life for a kid, nigga."
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Crazy. Even I ain't see that shit coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I think before we go into the Hokage, oh sorry, any closing points on the verses? Are we good?
No.
Good.
All right.